Good morning, this is Veronica Roseman with I Teach Scraps. This morning I'm going to do a video on my Gypsy on how to make a shadow for a welded word. When you do a welded word, you use the Gypsy to take individual letters and you link them together. So when they cut as one word. I then get a lot of questions, can I still shadow a welded word? And the answer is yeah, in most cases you can. There's some places you can't. So I'm going to do this kind of step by step and show you how to do it. This video is sort of for my friend Judy, and she was working on a title that said Moving Day. So I kind of recreated what her title looks like. The next step is there's a little plus sign up on the top up here, and you're going to press that, and now you're going to see there's a layer 1 and a layer 2. We're working on layer 2. You can still see layer 1. You just can't do anything to it. We need to be able to see it to properly build the shadow for it. So then the next step is we're gonna over here on our basic tab, we're gonna see the sizing things. You're going to want to size the height. My letters on Moving Day were 2 inches. So you're going to want to make sure that that height is still 2 inches. So it makes the letters the proper size. So next we're going to go to our cartridge library. We're using Cutting Up. The next thing I'll say about building a shadow is that the cartridge you're using has to actually have a shadow programmed into it. Otherwise it's just not going to work properly. The letters aren't going to be the right fit. So we're going to turn on our shadow. We're going to type the word Moving Day, or moving, I guess. Okay, so now we're back, and again we're working on layer 2. We can see layer 1, and that's very helpful to be able to do. Did you see that? Okay, but we'll see, we can work with the layer 2. So the next step is we're going to double click on the M, and we're going to bring it up, and I'm actually going to zoom in here, and we're going to kind of sit it on top of the layer 1M, kind of finessing it a little. Okay, so you can see the purple shows where it's going to cut, so it's going to be just a hair bigger than the one on layer 1. So then I'm going to do the same thing with this O. And so what we're looking at is how we got to make sure that the layer 2, the shadow, links together, so, but also covers the letter on layer 1. Okay, I'm going to go over here. Whoop. And if that happens, you just kind of drag it back where it goes. Not a big deal. Go back and get the N. Sit it on top of there. That's why zooming is so important. If you don't know how to zoom, you can, I'll show you quickly how. Alright, so if you want to get a closer look at what you're working at, there's this silver button over here, this top one, and you're going to hold it down and tap the screen where you're working, and that's going to zoom in for you. And go back and get that G. Like I said, this is easy to fix. Just move it back over. Double click the G, make sure it's purple. I'll fix that here in a second, don't worry about that. And then you're going going to fit the G over. Zoom out. Okay, you see that? I'm going to zoom in just to make sure. I'm going to finesse it a little bit. Okay, so the next step, I'm still working with my shadow. I'm going to take the shadow, go to the Advanced tab, bring this back over so you can see, and hit the Weld button. It should be red. And then if you hit the little eyeball down here, and you're going to zoom in, you should see gray in between each one of the letters. And zoom out. And that's basically how you do a shadow for a welded word. Remember that the cartridge itself has to have a shadow to be able to do that. And then you just go back to layer 1 and you'll cut layer 1, and you'll go to layer 2 and you'll cut layer 2. You cut them individually, so you would hit layer, you go to layer 1, you go to your basic tab, you go cut with a knife, load the paper, and then when that one's done cutting, then you would go to layer 2 and do the same thing. The other little tip I'll have for you is that if for whatever reason you, if I want to move this, if you don't want to see this, for whatever reason, if you don't want to see what you're doing on layer 1, all you really need to do is to go to this little eyeball up here and kind of press it and hold it down, and it's going to close, and then you won't be able to see it anymore. It's still there. It just allows you less confusion. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, email iteachscrap@cox.net. Thank you.